I think it's ever been like, you know,
like an actual...
not like stated, but like known when you were gonna hit record.
That's something.
Pretty much. Yeah. Welcome to the Weekend Fan Club. That we had an actual opening today.
Yes.
It's
We
kinda
are
nice.
your hosts, John, Connor, and I am Charlene.
Hi, Charlene.
Hello. So you've been working at Sobeys since 2018.
I think you mean working at Weekend Fan Club. Since 2018.
I see. You've been working at Weekend Fan Club since 2018,
Yeah.
which is a lie,
Yes.
because we've been doing this since last year.
Isn't that gonna be wild when it becomes a year that we've been doing this
A year
dumb activity?
anniversary?
What?
Oh,
That's not even
never.
far from now.
Oh, you're shit, you're right! Oh!
Oh.
That's gonna be rough. That's gonna be so rough.
It'll be 1 year has passed, but we'll all age 5 years each.
Absolutely. That's exactly what's gonna happen. So, it's funny, we normally think of, like, things we're gonna talk about, and we were like, you know what, lately we've just been kind of winging it.
Mm-hmm.
Man, folks, do we have an episode for you today?
Oh.
Enough has happened in the past 3 days to do like 6 of these.
Really, though. So, where do we want to start?
I think chronologically.
Chronologically sounds good.
Yes.
So, yeah, chronologically sounds good.
Let's go back to Saturday, I suppose.
Our weekend?
Yeah. The Whalen weekend.
Okay. So we had a weekend, myself and Quinn, where we went with our family at a cabin, but it was not just our, like, immediate family. It was all of them. It was all of them.
Yes. Our immediate family, which is 5 of us. And then there's like I'll say like a second tier level family,
Yeah.
which is like usual aunts and uncles and stuff.
Well,
Which
it's
is
like the grandparents.
Okay.
yeah,
family.
so which is like there's like a good number of people.
Yeah.
It's like
But then this
25
was
people.
like great grandparents down family.
Yeah.
Oh.
This was everybody.
This was 42 people
Oh my Jesus.
in one.
And, like, your parents aren't,
And I
like...
can't even say in one cabin. Me and Connor slept in a tent. Some people slept in a shed. Some people slept in a car.
Oh my God.
So not 42 people in the cabin.
Jesus Christ. I was gonna say, of course not.
42 people orbiting a cabin.
It's just there's whalens everywhere.
Yeah, because, like, your parents don't have, like, a million siblings, don't they?
No, they're both 3 each.
Jesus.
But I guess they each had. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So they don't have, like, 100 people. Because my dad has, like, 5 brothers, and, like, my mom has, like, 6 siblings. Like, it's crazy.
That's a lot.
Yeah. But that's like standard for Newfoundland families,
Yeah,
though.
our parents have 3 siblings each, which is more than you'd see now, but I guess not crazy.
No, exactly. Like, especially for here. Like, back in last generation, people had, like, a million children.
Yeah. So this was all dad's side of the force.
Okay.
And, yeah, it was weird. It's interesting meeting people I'm related to that I know nothing about.
It's always amazing.
I'm like, I don't know your name. And actually, this was weird. This was almost like everyone at the Palooza was in the same state of mind that I was. Because I got introduced to at least one person who was like, I'm not going to remember your name.
I remember
I've
that.
given up.
That was good.
There are so many of it.
Yeah.
I think he was there, like, he, I guess, like, married.
He's a husband, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he was a
so
husband.
he's just like, that's it. It's
So
over.
he's like, I'm hitting a brick wall made of humans.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was, it got weird.
Yeah?
It got weird.
Quick.
Like,
It got weird quick.
So the weekend was, like, the whole weekend, right? So it was the 3 days.
Well, we went up Saturday.
We went up Saturday.
We were doing stuff. I was doing stuff Friday.
Okay.
Most of the Whalens were up on Friday, so we got there, it was already packed.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And
So
then
you
we
came
left
in
Sunday.
You came in halfway through.
Yeah, so I came in, and then immediately went, like, on the boat and everything, which was almost like a, no, not ready for this yet, no, get me on the lake.
Yeah, just...
And then we
fair.
came back in, and then we gotta talk about
The boys?
We gotta talk about the boys. We gotta talk about the heck.
So pretty early on, there were a lot of younger kids, like I'd say between 7 and 11.
Oh no.
I couldn't even tell you how many, because they were just coming and going, and
And we're all related. We all look alike. Like there are like 3 people that there were 3 people that I thought were like 2.
yeah.
And then I would
That's
see them all
definitely
together,
true.
and I'd be like, "Son of a bitch!"
Fuck, there's more.
But then pretty early on, there was like this thing where like they attached to us, and I pretty much accepted. We're at the cabin more often, and it's like this weekend isn't for us.
No,
No.
it's for them.
So I figured these kids are gonna attach to us. We might as well like humor them and make sure they have a good time,
Yeah, just like entertain
Stronger
them
men
for
than
the
me.
which
weekend,
became
you know?
both physically and mentally exhausting.
Okay,
Stronger
so
men than
there's this game.
I would have given up.
There was this game that's set up in the yard. You take like these little like hacky sack kind of pouches. and you
Cornholes?
just- Yeah,
Yes.
basically. You
There
just
you
kind
go.
of throw it, and there's like a plastic target.
Oh, okay.
And so, me and Connor were just playing that, and then these 2 kids joined us, and one of our cousins, and he's like 13, and these kids
Right.
were like 7 and 9.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So our cousin is 13. I always thought is like he was the youngest one of the of the lower tier family. So he was the one I was always like, man, he's sucks being a kid. Like I mean, it's not your fault. Like you know my opinions on children in
Yeah,
middle
it's like,
school.
I mean, it sucks to be
Like,
you.
it's not your
also,
fault,
it's not your
but-
fault.
Exactly.
It's not your fault, but
But man, I
fuck.
gotta commend him for seeming like super well adjusted this weekend in comparison.
Oh, yeah.
Poor bastard.
It was insane.
But so these 2 guys, and like pretty much immediately they went directly into some very hardcore shit talking, like more than I probably
Oh
ever could.
yeah, like hashtag problematic shit talk.
Oh.
And this is, I mean, obviously, this is not I'm not gonna start parenting these kids.
No, right?
But if I was.
So, like, man, if, like, I never gymmed the camera so many times.
Yeah. So many times just being like, woof.
Oh god. And like every once in a while, and like one of the kids is 7, and he's like, "Do you play Fortnite?" And I'm like, "No." And he's like, "I have 80 wins in Fortnite." And I was like, "How have you done anything 80 times?" You're fresh out of the box.
How have you done anything 80 times? You're probably not even 80 days old.
What the hell? Like, and he was the stranger of the 2. Like the guy that was 9, like he just yelled shit and dunked on people.
I mean,
But
like
the
any
kid that
other-
was 7, like, it was weird. Because I guess 7 is still that age where, like, he probably has no idea what he's even saying.
Yeah, I don't think so. I
Yeah.
think, like, honestly, after the Fortnite thing, there was a moment of clarity where I was like, oh, he's inherited toxic gamer speak.
Oh no.
So, like, we're playing the game, and there'd be, like, 5 rounds in a row where he wouldn't say a word, and then out of nowhere he'd just be like, "This game doo-doo."
That was my favorite bit. This game doo-doo.
This game doo-doo. And I would be like, "Well, A, doo-doo? What? Is doo-doo making a comeback?"
Sick. That's so fucking good. So how do you feel about children now, Quinn?
Well, I mean, you know,
It's a lot easier when you don't have to parent them.
that's true.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like, if I raised a kid, I feel like I don't like. I'm not saying like better or worse, but I'm saying definitely different.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess that's the big thing too.
Well, it helps being the generation that actually understands toxic gamer culture.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that must be rough. I don't really deal with that. The only like younger cousins I have are both like meathead jocks. So I'm like, sweet.
Great.
Before it used to be like, can I look at your phone? Do you have any cool games on your phone? I'm like, no, I don't have mobile games on my phone because my phone is for communication. And then they're like, oh, lame. And then like the next year I went to go talk to them. They were just like, you play hockey? I'm like, I haven't touched a sporting equipment in a fortnight. Like, I haven't touched a thing. And then they're just like, whatever.
Yeah.
And then like I think the biggest, most jarring thing I think I saw once was like I think it was like my little cousin. I can't remember which one it was, which cousin it was. And it was definitely the older one. And he was like on Tinder. And I'm like, whoa! Like, he's not even old enough to even sign for that shit, yo.
Yeah, the minimum's 18.
Yeah.
He's one of those.
Yeah.
Not actually 18, wink.
No. Yeah, really. I was just like,
I assume the kids who do that don't realize how problematic that is.
yeah.
That's honestly one of the cringiest things. And it doesn't get any less cringy every time you see it. You're like,
No.
shit!
Fuck. Can you imagine like looking at a picture? Because like the lowest it has to be is 18,
Yeah.
right? So imagine looking at a picture and being like, you're 14. I don't know how old the kid is, but like, definitely not 18. But you just look at it and be like, you fucking kidding me? Like, are you really kidding me right now? So was that the weekend? Was it just like cringe?
Basically, it was just getting harassed by two small children. the
Yeah,
whole
at
weekend.
night there was a couple hours of hide and seek tag in the woods and yard area.
Which I haven't played hide and seek tag or ran in a long time.
Yeah, it was
Spotlight?
a lot physically. Like, yeah, but with no light.
You just tag them with your
tag them.
hands.
Oh, that's lame. I don't want to play Spotlight. Spotlight's way better, man. Nothing like you ever play Spotlight when you were a kid? Like,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
oh man, there's nothing better than like playing Spotlight, going out for like 5-10 minutes,
Well-
and then coming back and being the only one on home base, and then you just wait until like the guy comes back, and you're just like, "Fuck, where were you?
Yeah.
Like I've been here forever, dickhead."
The thing is, without going into the woods, there's not a huge space.
And it's very open. I play dirty. I trip fuckers up.
Oh, but here was the thing about it, is that we were out there playing hide and seek tag and like physically exerting ourselves all night, while the people who were actually around our age were inside having fun.
Having actual fun.
It was like, I guess this is it. Like, this is...
Well, that's the thing, man. You start doing. Oh my god.
But then as soon as the next morning,
God.
as soon as the next morning, I was just like, I want to just be by myself now.
Oh, there's nothing better.
I was like, I did my time.
I do that all the
I
time
mean,
where I'm like, I just need to be alone.
It was pretty wild. It wasn't even like it wasn't a bad weekend or a bad experience, but like
It was just jarring.
once lunch ended on Sunday, I was like, if I don't leave right now, I'm gonna start freaking out. Like,
I guess that's when I got your Snapchat. I was just like, Palooza over. You were just like, I'm not doing this anymore.
We were there for like pretty close to exactly 24 hours, and that was exactly my limit. Like, I was like, this is over.
I don't even need to be there to tell you what my limit will be. 24 minutes.
Oh, you know what I did do that was kind of cool though? I got all of the children into Super Monkey Ball 2.
Nice.
I put it on the TV, just like, who wants to play the game?
Nice. I like it.
This weird, archaic.
I had to teach. I was like, the first lesson of this game is patience. The second is balance.
Alright, fucking Avatar Waylon. Fucking.
Well, I did the neat thing where you can, kind of like, like the subtle adult ways that you can tell a kid to fuck off.
Yeah.
Like, I was eating supper and he came over like, come on, when are we gonna play monkey ball? And I was just like, my dude, the first lesson of monkey ball is patience.
I like it. Oh man.
Yeah, that was basically the weekend.
Nice.
Which brings us to yesterday.
Oh my fucking god. This is where I was a part of this.
Which brings us to yesterday.
By the end of yesterday, I was like, glad to be a part of this.
This saga.
Everything was closer to the universe yesterday.
Yeah, I woke up this morning, I was like, I'm not going to do anything interesting today. Nothing even remotely noteworthy.
Just to make up for the
Just to
fucking
make up for
abundance of it yesterday.
Well, yeah, tonight's sole purpose is just documenting all the weird shit.
Yes,
yesterday.
okay. So, woof. Alright, where do we even fucking start from yesterday?
I don't know, where do you want to start?
Like, okay, I'll start off with, like, Quinn texted me, and he asked me, he was like, hey, they're playing 2001 A Space Odyssey in IMAX in theaters.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm down. I've never seen this movie before, and it's a groundbreaking film.
None of us
You
have
guys
seen
should
it,
probably see it. So, yeah. So, we figured, fuck it, let's just do that. So I went to work and did my own thing or whatever. There's a very funny story about my work, though. Very small tangent train. I work in, like, customer service, but not really customer service. More like operations. I know. I work in, like, operations, so I don't normally deal with customers very much. But sometimes I get call center people calling me who are customer service. And, like, it's their job, not mine.
Yeah.
So there's at least 9 times out of 10 when they call me, and I'm just like, yeah, this is your job. Tell them this. You should just know how to do this. And then they're like, oh, okay, thanks. It just wastes my fucking time.
Classic.
So there was one moment where they called me yesterday, and they were just like, hi, can you look up this order? I need to know if it's done. And the customer wants to know when they're going to get it. And I'm like, you know how to do this, but alright, sure, I'll play. So I looked it up and, like, looked up all the information. I thought, you know what, I'm going to see if this guy's done his homework. Let's pop quiz him, see how well he knows what he's doing. And, like, I'm sitting there and I'm like, and he's like, yeah, customer just wants to know when they're getting it. And I'm like, did you look it up on the website? He goes, yes. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
And I'm waiting and I'm like, and what did it say? He said, it says here, it's been transferred to partner and expected delivery date is Monday. So, yesterday. The day of. And I just stopped and I was like, go on. And then it got really quiet and he just said, what do I tell the customer? And I'm like, what do you think?
Oh my god.
He's customer service.
You roasted this.
And I was like, what do you think? And he stopped again and was like, should I tell them it's going to be there for Monday? And I'm like, very good.
Wow.
I was very
Oh
soft.
my god.
I was very spicy yesterday.
God.
I was like, very good. And he was just like, so I'll tell them they'll get it for Monday. And I said, yes. And he's just like, oh, okay, thank you very much for calling. And I was like, I didn't call, you did. And I hung up the phone. And I was sitting in my chair.
Ruthless.
I was sitting in my chair.
So aggressive.
You have to understand, that's been my... Imagine getting a call like that, but every fucking day for 3 months.
That's insanely hostile.
Because it was very well warranted. I've also had times where, like, customer service will ask me a question, and they're like, I'm just gonna put the customer on the line. I'm like, don't do that, because I don't know what we're doing, and neither do you. Then it's 2 people they're talking to and have no idea what they're doing. And they're just like, I don't know, maybe I'll just put the customer over. I was like, no. Don't you dare. Like, don't. And then I'll be like, alright, let me just look it up something real quick on my side. So I'll look it up, and then I'll come back, and, like, all I hear is some woman go, hello? And I'm like, hi? And she's like, yeah, he told me you were gonna help me. I was like, he just dropped me with her? Like, I don't fucking know what to do. Like,
Wow.
That sounds like us and these kids.
I was like, fuck, I don't know.
Like, what do I do?
Shit. So yeah, that's what my day was like yesterday, which is why it was pretty spicy. And then, so, we went to the movie.
We went to the movie.
Yeah.
And my god.
And you know what? Like, in retrospect, things were smooth sailing. And then it was so sudden that it became...
So, okay.
Sudden and just did not let up.
Yeah,
It was sudden and my brain... It took a while for my brain to register. This is still happening and is going to continue to happen.
Okay, no, we're getting ahead of ourselves. So, what happened was, we got to the movie theater, we were talking, we were like, oh, having a conversation.
We're talking about the shark movie.
The line was backed up. We were in the snack line, waiting to get our
remember what we were
food.
talking about, because we were talking about the shark movie.
Yeah.
Because something that happens has to do with what we were talking about, and it makes no sense.
So what happened was, we were talking about, like, the shark movie.
And
I looked back.
Spider-Man.
Yeah. I was talking about, like, the Spider-Man game that was coming out for PS4. And I was like, yeah, man, like, it's coming out super quick. And then I looked back and saw the Meg poster, which was on, like, the IMAX poster area.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's weird. I thought, like, 2001: Space Odyssey was going to be playing in IMAX tonight. And I said, I guess it's just one showing, so, you know, I guess they didn't bother putting the poster there.
Yep.
And then we started talking about just
movies,
just like the Meg mostly, and, like, posters. I was like, man, that's so weird. Like, are shark movies coming back now? Like, is that just a thing? I was like, I thought this movie was gonna bomb.
Right, I was
It
talking
was
about
doing all right.
I was like, if Space Odyssey has the 7:40 showing, that seems like the main showing.
Yeah.
And that poster should be up on the wall in the IMAX spot, and the Meg's the other one.
And then
our conversation stopped.
the conversation ended there. What did we name him?
This
What was his name?
We didn't get his name.
This dude. Okay.
There was
This
a guy
dude,
in front of us.
There was a man.
Was he shorter than all of us?
He was shorter than all of us.
He was shorter than all of us. He's kind of like a gruff demeanor.
He had just turned 50 last
He just turned 50 last year.
We learned everything.
Oh.
We learned everything about this man. He was standing in front of us.
I don't know where he's from. I think he told us, and I don't know.
No, he didn't really say.
He had a French
He
accent.
was a French accent.
It was a
Yeah.
French accent at least. So he turned around to us again while we're talking about the Meg,
Yeah.
and out of no fucking left field, he turns around to us and he goes, "I have a couple friends like you," and I was like, "What?"
And then he just tells us about his friends and his life for like 20 minutes while we're in the line.
Like the
The
entire
whole time we're in the line.
And don't get me wrong, it was a wild ride, but it was like
There were so many.
near
like,
the end of it,
there
I was
were,
just like, wow, we really don't have to do anything. He's just gonna.
There
keep
were
going.
so many like episodes that he told us about. And thing is, he didn't just say we're like his friends.
He
Tons
told
we
us-
talk like your friends. He pointed at us and we're like, "You're like this friend I have.
You're like
you're
Jeff.
like this
You're
friend.
like
I have.
Tony.
You're like Jose."
Yeah,
And it was like, what?
And the fucked thing is like he pointed at Quinn specifically, and it was really funny because he pointed at you. He's like, "I got a friend a lot like you. He has to comb over. He combs his hair over." I was like, "Dude, you do that? Like that's how way you wear your hair."
Did you do that?
And then he was just like, He has a red sports car." I was like, "Dude, you got a red sport." I was like, "You got a red car. It's not a sports car." I was like, "You got a red car." And then he's just like, "You got the glasses," and I was like, "Dude, you're getting glasses soon."
But you notice that sometimes he started to almost conflate it, and he'd just be like, you lost all your hair when you got older."
And he looks at me and he's just like, "You lost all your hair when you got older." I was like, "What do you mean me? Are you psychic? What the fuck is happening right now?" And of course, me, being the person I am, if anything happens like this to me, I'm all for it. Fuck it. Like, I'm already in for the ride. I might as well have some fun with it.
Oh yeah, for sure. Just like, tell me more about
Like,
how I
yes.
am like GF.
Tell me more about your...
And-
and I quote him, "Your friend with the big teats."
He got weirdly.
He got
Yeah.
weird.
Which
Yeah,
is
right.
weird. The more like deep and like problematic he got, the more I was like, why did us talking about the fucking shark movie make him think of his friends? What is happening?
Oh yeah, because nothing he said about his friends was even remotely close to what we were talking about.
No,
he
he
was
just
like-
kind of
Maybe
came
just
right
the
He
in.
was just
way
like,
we
"Oh,
talked
me and my
was
friends.
similar."
Oh, me and my friends used to chase the girls in high school."
Yeah, he's like, oh, and the guy who reminds me of you, he fucked my other friend's mom.
And we were like,
and he told
whoa.
this whole story about him
And
fucking
like-
his friend's mom, and it's like, what?
And my brain exploded. And so, like, there were three of us there, so I was like, John's more involved in this conversation than I am, so I'm just gonna space out for a little bit here and
Yeah.
walk around. And I turn, and I see this guy. I see one of my friends from school, Kevin. Shout out to Kevin.
Shout out to Kevin.
He works at. He's over there behind the counter. We lock eyes. I don't think he can tell that there's a random dude talking to us, giving us life. So I'm already repressing laughter, listening to this guy talk about
I
his
think
life
I
story.
looked up.
And then I look over at Kevin, and he starts doing that bit where he just like slowly slides underneath the counter. My eyes were on fire. Like my whole.
I looked over and I saw that like the corner of my eye while that dude was talking. I looked over, I was like, "Oh hey, look, there's Kevin." And then I seen him do the thing. I looked at you, and you were trying so hard not to laugh. Like I know the face you did.
Like
You're
my face was just being like pulled apart. Like it was just.
Oh my god. So like again, we were in the lineup for this for like 25 minutes.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Like it felt like a goddamn eternity.
Yeah, because we got an entire lifetime of stories.
And then like he was ahead of us in the line, obviously. So like he went up and like got his popcorn. While he was buying his popcorn, still turning around to talk to us. And I'm like, it's almost over. Like, he's gonna leave soon. And then, like, he had his ticket in his hand, and I kept, like, looking down and being like, please fucking God, don't say 2001. Like,
Did you
please,
see
it did. It said The Meg. And I was like,
Ah, bless.
maybe that's why he turned around and talked to us. Maybe he was hoping we were going to the same movie because we were talking about The Meg. That's the only
And
thing
so-
I could think of.
And then he like turns around and he like asks where the straws are, and you like pointed to like over past the ticket stand, and he left, and I was like, oh thank fuck, like
Yeah, he looked at
Like,
me.
That was a lot.
Well, no, what
that
happened
was such a weight that got lifted off me. I was
What
like,
happened
oh,
was,
God.
it was crazy what happened, because like, he looked at us, he looked at Connor and was like, where's the straws? And Connor pointed over, he's like, yeah, over there. And the guy looks, he goes, okay, thank you. He's like, you know, enjoy your movie, and then walked away. And the moment he was out of earshot, we all looked at each other, like, silently, and was just like, we don't need topics tomorrow. This is gonna be our whole fucking day. Like, Jesus Christ.
But it's like, do you remember how much, like, the places he went? Like, he's been married 3 times.
Yeah,
I know that now.
he's been married 3
He's been
times.
He has
married
a
3
son
times.
about our age. He has a daughter who's 16. He says, oh, but my daughter's son pretty. I gotta protect her from all the boys. You know, with the son, you don't need to do that, but a daughter, you do. I was like, yeah, you got some really,
I was like,
I'm, like, I'm not gonna, like,
Yeah,
I'm not
I'm not
Daughter
gonna speak
hot.
out against you on this.
And
It's
for-
not the
and
time
for-
and place.
and for
your daughter
20
hot?
years, and for 20 years, he's owned and operated this truck doing like delivery.
Yeah, he's a
doing,
trucker.
like-
He's lived in, like, Atlanta, Dallas, San Francisco,
He owns.
Chicago.
He owns.
Yeah, he
a
owns
house
his own
in
truck.
Chicago.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
owns a
owns
house
a place
in Argentina.
in Argentina.
Yeah.
Like, he was telling me different.
Argentina.
Yeah, he said he was owned places there. He owns
Wow.
places in all of these fucking places around the world.
Yeah.
Like,
And he's
holy
married-
shit.
Driving a truck.
And he's married now, and his friend with the red sports car isn't married. I guess.
You know what's really funny though? I was really hoping that like I was really tempted to do it while we were there, but I wasn't sure how well you guys would have been able to fucking keep up.
Were you gonna start making shit up about us?
I was really tempted to be like, yeah, my daughter's 9, like, you know, I love her to death too, like I'm trying to protect her. Like just throwing shit out there.
I just feel like
Oh,
that's
yeah.
crazy. I'm fucking my buddy's mom right now.
I would have lost it. I would have the moment you would be like, yeah, I got the doctors. I would be like, no, you fucking don't. Like I just want to explode and just.
Oh, and I would not be able to keep up. Just
No,
for the
that's
record.
why I didn't do it. I was just like,
Especially if like you dragged me into it.
I know you wouldn't. You'd be like, fuck.
Like you'd be like, yeah. I don't even know. I would. Oh man, I can't even. I'm not even going there.
So that was before we walked into the fucking theater for
Yeah.
2001:
Yeah.
A Space Odyssey.
Right, and then we left, and me and Connor were just standing, and you were still in line, and this kid just walked up. Thing is, like, normally this would have been kind of a noteworthy thing, like a little bit, but it wasn't even. This kid just walked up, and he was like, "Do you change for 20?" And I was like, "I have a 10 and 2 5s," and he was like, "Yeah, that works." And I was like, "All right, kid."
All right, kid.
Yeah, but it was weird because like all those people there, and Quinn was the one to do the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we went into the theater.
Alright, so we did the theater, and the trailers were happening. We were going over how weird today
Yeah,
was.
we were just
The
Like,
like,
trying to
trailers were
process what had just happened.
There was no
Oh.
video for a while. There was just
No.
trailer noises.
yeah.
And then the movie started playing. Well, a movie started playing.
Is this weird animated panda short?
I don't know. I
And
missed
everyone in
something
the
short of
theater
something
was
else.
like, is this Stanley Kubrick? Like,
I got out of hand, like roasting the Panda movie and
Yeah, you
roasting the
did.
beginning of Space Odyssey.
you did.
I was like, do they think like, nah, this movie's not that long. We'll throw a panda short at the beginning.
Yeah, it's only fucking 3 hours long.
Then they cut the Panda movie and started playing the same trailers again.
Yep.
It was like,
And then it was
guys.
pitch fucking dark. And then the fucking ambient sound for 2001
Right.
started happening. And we thought it was like a fucking...
I thought it was
Yeah.
another fuck up.
Yeah, we thought it was a fuck up. We're like, oh man, look at this
It
shit.
turns out the movie begins with ambience to like draw people into the theater, I guess.
Yeah, because it's the same thing happened after the intermission.
Because the movie has an intermission, by
Yeah.
the way, and the intermission does that to
Yeah,
cue it
so
starting
we,
again.
we started watching it and I was just like, man, the fucking screen is black. Like, are we missing something? And I wasn't sure if it was you. I wasn't sure if it was Connor or Quinn, but one of you looked over at me and you were just like, what the fuck is that? Are we missing something? And I was like, no, it's space. Duh. It's fucking black. And then the movie started, and then, oh boy, what a film!
How are people not like? I get that people talk about how influential this movie is because it's influential, but I can't believe that's where the conversation stops.
Yeah, and the conversation stops at HAL 9000.
Yeah.
And like, I remember talking about this movie in high school with one of my teachers, and I was like, it looks pretty interesting. You know, I'd like to see kind of like a big space thing that influenced a lot of sci-fi. And his only warning was, oh, you know, it's pretty slow moving.
I like it is.
That's like, what the fuck? This
is the longest fucking film I've ever seen.
This is the longest movie.
At the same time,
That's not a complaint. Slightly. I mean, a little bit. But, like, I went into this movie knowing it was 2 hours, 45 minutes. This movie feels like a fucking lifetime.
Yeah.
But then again, how do you explain or even talk about the back half of the movie?
You don't. I don't
Maybe
think
that's
you really
why
do.
all the talk is about HAL 9000, because it's like, that is at least...
That's like the most cohesive part of the film.
Yeah.
But like, this movie starts with like 20 minutes of monkeys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This movie starts with 20 minutes of monkeys freaking out about an oblong.
No, it's the Kubrick.
The Kubrick.
The Kubrick.
And then there's like... And then they kind of show off how well they've thought out what the future's gonna be like.
Yeah.
And there's
Which is,
like
I
a
mean,
business meeting.
pretty good.
The movie reaches peak 60s at this point.
Yeah.
With all these business people just talking in their 60s voices. And
Oh,
whatever.
yes.
Alright. And then...
You're gonna have a good birthday now, okay?
Well,
And then-
I've got a date at the office tomorrow.
And then
I'll be there.
the first interesting thing of the movie happens, and then it jumps 18 months forward.
Excuse me, what do you mean the first interesting thing?
Look, I said that, and I knew you were gonna dunk on me for it, but I was like, I gotta say the joke.
Yes.
I like this bit that I'm gonna do
I
where
like
I
it
say,
too.
this is the first interesting thing happens, like, cut 18 months!
Yep. Isn't it great? I
And
literally
then-
don't know where to fucking start talking about this film.
And, I mean, to be fair, like, the monkeys bit was not super great, and then the 60s Futures bit was kind of neat, and then this bit was really cool. So, like, the movie's on a steady up and up,
That's true.
you know, with
They
each
do a pretty steady
with each
up and up.
new segment. And then, you know, there's all the Hal shit, and this is where the movie, like, actually gets, like, kind of mind-blowing with some of the shots
Oh, yeah.
and how the story unfolds and everything. I'm like, this holds, like, this, like, it's aged, but it still holds up. Like, this is a pretty, like, this part of the movie
Yeah,
is fucking tight.
90% of this film, you could just stop, take a screen cap, and fucking frame it.
Oh, yeah.
Like 90%. You could stop and pause it at any time and frame it.
The whole
Yeah.
thing's beautiful.
Yeah.
And it's bonkers.
There's still some shots I have no fucking clue how they did it.
Yeah, I couldn't figure out all...
Like some of
I have
the
an
some of
idea
the turning
of a lot.
room stuff, like I get it. It's like the camera's moving,
Yeah.
but like the room isn't.
Yeah.
But
And
then some of it was like, I actually don't know how to...
Yeah, I'm like looking at it. I'm
The
like
stuff where people are sitting... The stuff where people are standing, and they're standing at different angles
Yeah.
in the same shot.
Like one of
It's
them's like sitting down at a table down here, but like yeah, he climbs down a ladder sideways. I'm like I don't know, man.
Fuck it, I don't know.
Yeah, no, it
And-
was.
And then after the Hal bit, there's another part called Jupiter and Beyond the Infinite. And it gets pretty weird.
My eyes felt like they were bleeding.
Like, which to be, once it
Like,
started,
Fuck.
and there was that kind of like 2-panel light
Yeah.
show happening. Like, I've seen that a
Yeah,
lot in
same.
other things.
Mm.
So, they've all ripped off this movie. And that's cool. That's fine.
Oh, it's
Everyone
incredible
has.
the amount
I feel like this
of
movie's
times
fucking
these
public
things
domain now. Like I feel like this film is public domain because like too many things have ripped this off.
Like, I remember we watched the first Blade Runner, and we were like, man, like, this really invented how sci-fi cities look.
Mhm.
But then 2001 invented how everything else sci-fi looks.
yeah.
like panels, wall panels.
Fucking
Random.
panels.
So then,
Space
like
panels.
the spaceman says, "I have a bad feeling about this," and when he has his suit on, you can hear his breathing all the time.
Yeah.
Hal talks like GLaDOS a lot near the end.
Yeah.
And
And it's
Fucking-
just nonstop.
there's that, and I don't know how much media there is about artificial intelligence. This is.
Well, that was like all of sci-fi leading up to it.
Pretty much. But, like, you have to understand the kind of context of this film. This was pre-Star Wars.
Pre-Star Wars.
Pre-moon
miles.
landing.
Pre-moon landing.
Like, by a year, right?
Mm-hmm.
How much like
Holy
Star
shit.
Trek was around at this point?
Like, not much.
When did Star
Yeah.
Trek start?
It was the 60s,
Yeah.
but I don't know when.
Interesting.
Yeah,
So let's look that up.
it was bonkers, and yeah, that last segment just got real weird.
Oh yeah, that whole last act.
Where like,
I
I mean, spoilers for 2001, even though we've already kind of spoiled it.
Spoilers for a fucking
there's, like-
50-year-old film.
There's like a 20-minute light show, and then a 10-minute sketch where he's in a room, and I call it a sketch because I don't know what it was.
well, it's like I thought Interstellar was going like pretty off the deep end, and then pretty spectacular with the light show and everything that's happening. But it seems pretty soft now and like lowball compared to a movie that's 50 years old,
Yeah.
which is pretty nuts.
1966 was the first episode of the first Star
Okay,
Trek.
Star Trek is 2 years old.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So, like, damn.
And yeah, the whole movie, like, it's real long and real whack. And, like, there's a lot of stuff that happens in it, but it feels real drawn out.
Oh yeah.
Like, I feel like Kubrick's fucking motto was like, if they didn't see it happen, it didn't happen at all.
So you gotta show it all.
You gotta show fucking every
Well, it was all long. Like there was all long shots. There was like no cuts between stuff happening.
no fucking
So
cuts.
you would watch them do the whole thing.
The entire goddamn
Like,
thing.
They need to walk
Like they were
down
like,
the hallway.
we gotta get the module out of the thing, and like, you could just cut to them with the module in their hand.
Mhm.
But you show them like go into there. You show them like put the fucking spacesuit on, put the helmet on, open the door, get in the fucking pod, turn the pod, open the pod bay doors, go out with the pod, raise up in the pod, turn the pod, slowly move near the fucking satellite in the pod, open the pod, climb out of the pod, fly towards this fucking satellite. Then he gets there, and then they cut to when they have it in the space station. And fucking God, that's like 10 minutes of just...
And the thing about that sequence too, I think that's
And that's just one.
And the thing about that sequence too is I think at that point they embrace that the movie takes place in space, so there's no music.
Yeah, it's just breathing.
was
Like
just
heavy breathing for like 12 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking over at Quinn like, I'm gonna fucking lose my mind in here. But holy fuck. I can't even talk about this movie anymore. Cause like, the more I think about it, I'm like...
I mean, I'm really glad I saw it.
Same. I'm not saying it was bad.
And
I
not
can
only
see
am
why
I
it's-
glad that I saw it, like for its own sake, but also it changes a lot of the other things I have watched and I'm going to watch in the future.
Yeah.
That's true.
Having seen the influence and how much people just kind of take from this movie.
Yeah, you're gonna see like anything and be like, oh look, the Kubrick.
Yeah, Kubrick.
I feel like the movie asks a lot of you in terms of giving it your undivided attention.
Absolutely.
Watching
I think
almost
that's-
nothing happen
I
for
think
almost
that's a
3
real.
hours.
I think that's a real Kubrick thing.
So
Not that I've seen any other Kubrick, but I just,
and it's like
Get
with
that
Blade
vibe.
Runner where that like is a legitimate criticism of the movie and that it's not accessible like that. And that it has this big requirement for you to
Like it demands your undivided attention.
exactly
Yeah.
and it demands you sit through a lot,
Yeah.
but it's pretty rewarding.
Oh, absolutely. Just knowing that, like, just seeing like a groundbreaking film like that is always good. Like I think I remember when I hung out with Zach one time, he has like that big collection of like 50 50 greatest films ever made thing.
Oh,
Like that big, like,
that's cool.
Yeah, he has like this big thing. I think it was like mostly like Warner Brothers, I believe. But I mean, like, you know, a lot of the older movies were. So it had like a bunch of them in it, and we watched a couple. But like 12 Angry Men, obviously, and one of them was Citizen Kane. And I watched Citizen Kane after, and by fuck, absolutely it deserved best film ever. Like, no, when people say, oh, it's not like Citizen Kane.
Yeah.
Man, for like...
Does it actually deserve the reputation?
If you ask me, like, in regards to, like... Have you seen it?
Yeah. Well, I saw it in high school, so I don't super remember.
I would give it a second go.
But, yeah.
But, like, I would give it a second go, but, like, in regards to, like, how the movie was made in the time it was made, absolutely.
Cool.
Like... Because because normally, like, you're watching a black and white film, and you're usually watching it like any other black and white film of the day. There's a lot of dialogue, heavy stuff. Camera shots aren't really, you know, set choreography wasn't a huge deal. It was always just like, okay, we need an office. Here's an office. Oh, we need a bedroom. Here's a bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But they really thought out all of these things. They thought out shots. They thought out what they would do. Like, one of the more famous examples was, like, because the whole movie is, you know what the movie's about?
Rosebud?
Spoilers.
I don't know what that means.
It's literally, like, the biggest spoiler in the movie.
That he says Rosebud, that's not a spoiler. It's
I literally know.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
No,
yeah,
I'm not saying I know the whole thing behind it.
Oh, yeah, shit, sorry.
I mean,
my bad.
literally someone says Rosebud.
Okay, so the movie's about this guy, Kane, can't remember his first name.
Fuck.
Citizen?
Yeah, anyway, no. That's wow. So the movie's about Kane, and he was like a big rich dude, right? He was like one of the richest men in the world.
Real capitalist.
Oh yeah. And like he died, and his last words were Rosebud, and the entire film is just this journalist trying to like ask all the people he knew like about his life so he could figure out what his last words meant.
Okay.
Because we're talking like the richest man in the world just died.
So most of the movie is flashbacks of times in his life.
Yeah, of people telling him about him in the past, right?
Yeah.
And like, already that opens up a can of worms because he's asking different people about what he was like. So in every single flashback, you don't know if this is just how those people perceived him to be, or if this is how he actually was.
Okay, so like his character is kind of different in each flashback.
Not really, but like
subtle.
enough.
Yeah,
Enough to make you think like, okay, was he actually like this or what the fuck? Like, was he actually just like this dude who wanted to be super rich just because he wasn't when he was a kid and he wanted to give back? Or was he just super capitalist? But one of the best shots I remember in the movie was like when they were talking to his wife, or one of his ex-wives, I think. And she was talking about how like they were slowly like getting in more and more fights. Like, you know, they weren't really loving each other as much. But during like the flashbacks with them, like when they first got married and stuff, it always shows them at the dinner table.
Mm-hmm.
And the camera always pans, like it looks at him on an angle, and then it like slowly turns so it's them at each end of the table.
Mm-hmm.
So like they're like, you know, sitting at each end of the table. They're like, oh, I hope you have a good day today, honey. Like, okay, whatever. And then, like, slowly throughout the movie when they go back and talk to them, because it's not like he sits down with them and you get their side of the story and then he goes. He might come back sometimes and ask them again. You know what I mean? So sometimes he'll come back to her and be like, oh, you know, like, how was it, like, in this part of his life? And every time it shows that scene in that kitchen,
mm-hmm.
the exact same camera shot is used every time, where it's just him on an angle, and then it shows both of them at each end of the table. And because their marriage is failing, the table is getting longer and longer to show they're becoming further and more distant from each other. That's shit that you would see like today.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like film studies like today, like, you know, this generation of film. Or like, you know, last generation pretty much. But you know what I mean? Like, that shit you would not fucking see in a black and white film.
Right.
They really thought this shit through.
They actually they sort of stretched, you know, they did stuff almost like more than real life stuff.
Yeah. Like to the point where they push the visual medium and you're just like, whoa, I get it. Because they're growing further apart every day.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Half of marriages end in divorce.
There's 1,000 tigers left in the wild.
One of my favorite just like jokes in isolation. I don't even remember who said it. I saw this joke like maybe like 10 years ago. I was watching this comedian. I think it was on Last Comic Standing, and they were just like, half marriages end in divorce. So it's either your marriage or your wife's marriage.
Oh shit.
And I was just like, ha! Ha.
Oh shit. I remember, I can't remember who I was speaking with about this. It was like it was the creepiest thing you could ever say to someone.
Oh no.
What do you think it is?
You remind me of my friend GF.
Wow. No, I can't remember who it was. We tried to like think of like what's the creepiest thing anyone could have ever said to you, and I think I found the best one.
Okay.
Are you ready?
No.
I'm gonna go real close to the microphone for this one. That's good.
Just remember I have to listen to this later.
I know, this is for you. You smell different when you're awake. That has so many layers, though.
Oh.
Unpack that sentence.
Oh wow.
Unpack that sentence.
I don't
What do
want
you
to.
mean smell? What do you mean awake?
Oh.
That's good. I feel like that would get no reply because they can't decide which one to ask first.
Exactly. Which one do you ask first? What do
You
you
smell
mean
different when
asleep?
you're awake.
What do you mean awake? What do you mean smell?
Oh.
What about when you first meet someone? That's what you should say. Because then they don't even know you.
That'd be fucked.
Oof. That's gotta be a good open
What
line.
prompted this?
I don't know. I think it was like I was talking to one of my friends and she said like there was just some dude being super creepy and saying creepy things, and it got me thinking like what's the creepiest thing anyone's ever said to you like on Tinder or something. I think it was, and I was just thinking to
that
myself,
sounds real.
what could be the creepiest fucking thing? Because there's like a blog I follow called like straight white boys texting,
Yeah.
and like it's so good. Some of these fucking dudes on Tinder, man, they come out the gate real hard. Like I seen another one recently, and it was like a guy asking a girl, like, you know, what are you doing? And she's like going on a date, and he's just like, oh wow, didn't know we were going on a date later. And then like I'm like, and then like he comes back later and goes, what are you doing? And she comes back with on that date, and I'm like, oh, rough. I still like my favorite one is the one where the guy ended with, you have no idea what you're missing out on. I have a huge cock and I play hockey. Because it's just like, oh,
You're missing out on all the
changes everything.
conversations about the NHL.
Yeah, right? Like, whoa.
Man, dudes in 2018.
Gotta love them.
Dudes.
Actually, no, you don't. You really
don't.
can't.
You really do. And
You
it's hard.
don't, you
It's
really
hard
can't.
to.
It's
You
hard.
gotta go out of your way.
Yeah.
But like with this guy at the snack line, it's like he was just so carefree and just
I was honestly kind of envious.
I want to get to that age. And
Yeah.
that age where I can just be in a snack line and just be like, and just start talking to people at random about whatever I want. You know?
yeah.
I mean,
Because I think
thank God he
just-
was in a place like Newfoundland, though, where someone would honestly, like, give him the light of day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because
And,
like,
like-
you pull that shit in Toronto, they'd be like, oh, fuck, here we go. And
Who
just
the shit
completely
are-
ignore you.
Like,
But like when he was looking, he's just like, oh, you know, the girls, they're, you know.
The girls with
I'm
the deets.
Yeah,
That-
if she's
that
good.
was
If
not
she's
great.
good looking. You say, oh, she's from out from the city.
Well, no,
She's from
the
outside
fuck.
the
Okay, so the
village.
fuck thing was like when he was talking, he was just like, "Oh yeah, she must be from the city, and we were from the village." And I was like, "The village? What? Hold on, where are you from?" Like,
I don't even know if he knows where he's from.
right? That's why I asked. I was like, "You're not from around here?" And he was like, "No, far away, from far away." And I was trying to like, without asking him straight up where he was from, I was like, "Oh man, like you're from far away, like oh." Like kind of like where to, but no, he never did say. He never did
He
say.
says something like that. You're not just gonna be like, hey, that's pretty probably. You know, it's not like the way to be thinking. You know, objectifying women like that.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, what do you even do? You just laugh awkward like, haha.
Yeah, right. Like, really wanted to just like throw a fucking. I was really tempted to hit him with the, like, take her easy. If she's easy, take her twice. Because I feel like he would have really appreciated that. I heard another one of those after. So there's like a So there's like a Newfie joke where like someone says, you know, take her easy, just for our other fans who aren't from here. You know the
Take her easy.
Take her easy. That's not just a thing here, is it?
no. Well, the second part of it is
Yeah.
is take her easy, right?
Yeah.
And then the Newfie part of it is if she's easy, take her twice. And like that's so. But
I see
also,
what you did there.
but also, and then.
It's like
I don't
congrats
even-
on only the wordplay.
John,
Yeah.
John, this is the most problematic episode we've had. You just gotta go there. You just gotta go there.
I don't even want to say it because like I heard it and I was like, I mean that's only the natural progression of this, but
Just go there.
so
Take us home.
it's if she's take her easy, and then if she's easy, take her twice, and then the third one is if she's in for the third, give her the bird. And I was like, I mean, again, it's just the natural progression of this, but I didn't want to like admit it.
Great.
The term bird is
Let's not go into it.
Let's not go into it.
yeah.
Oh my god. This has been the longest hour of my life.
Ooh, so a lot happened on Twitter as well.
Oh?
Oh yeah, so we got back from the cabin after this crazy week in our family, and you saw I tweeted, cause like
Oh yeah, you were just like, oh, what the fuck?
what the fuck's going on? Like everything is just like John McCain died, and that was just a whole thing, cause it's just like, oh man, and everyone was like, it's a whole thing that's been like, we've been gearing up towards it, you know, and everyone knew it was gonna be a whole thing.
Yeah.
And it was.
Yeah.
Of just
Like, if dude is shitty, like, just, you know, get over it, man. Like,
here was the take that was I thought was wild, is that Donald Trump has 90% support in his party, among his base,
Mm.
and he hates the guy, and they're all shitting on him. Republicans shitting all over John McCain when he died, even more than anyone else that like I was following.
Mm. Yeah, I
So
thought
they
he
all-
was like the most
so there was
popular
this-
one.
So there was this huge push of, oh, you know, he's so honorable, respectful. We gotta remember him for being such a good person, even if you don't agree. But that's only liberals and journalists. That's like Republicans didn't do that. They shat all over him.
Oh my god.
And it's like who are you even doing this for? Like, I don't know. And it's like, and he was the icon of that. Just, hey, I'm gonna speak out and say Donald Trump's not very nice, but then every policy he puts forth, I sign on. Yeah, hell yeah, let's do it. Let's strip the healthcare. Let's fuck everyone up. Let's go to war. Again.
America's
Listen.
like North American culture's got a real fucked up issues with the whole dying thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We treat people that are dead just really not great, but really well, but that's not great.
Yeah.
Like the whole idea of like don't speak ill of the dead, like but sometimes do though, because sometimes they were shitty people to begin with. So.
Mm-hmm. So there was all that, and then literally like around the same time I had logged on to see all this, there was a shooting at a video game tournament.
Yep.
Madden
By a
NFL.
player who lost.
Yeah. And
Dude,
it was like
2018, man.
the audio
Dudes
was in the
2018.
Twitch live stream. I could only skim a tiny bit, and I was just like,
Shit,
I didn't even
this
want to
is
click
not
on it. I didn't even want to click on it. I was like,
I didn't even know that was.
I saw like the screen cap,
yeah.
but like obviously you couldn't see much because it was all fucking.
No, and my understanding is that almost immediately then just cut the video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then of course, at this point that happens, and it's just like, that sucks, and nothing's ever gonna come of it.
Well, it's a shooting in America. What were you expecting to happen?
Yeah, because
I hate to be like that, but
No,
Fucking
but that's
failed
kind of
state.
the only way to be,
yeah.
because it happens so often, and every time.
Did you see
It
what
just
they're
runs
fucking?
the
Right,
same
well, the
course.
angle now is don't publicize too much about the shooter because you're gonna inspire more people to do it, which statistically, yeah, it's because it statistically happens so often now.
Yeah.
They need to watch out for making an increase by publicizing details about the shooters rather than like preventing more shooters or from the source.
Did you see? I saw this thing on fucking. I can't remember where it was too, but like this was when like I gave up. Like I don't usually like give a shit or like I give like marginal shits about certain things. I don't usually go full tilt into caring or not caring until I see something absolutely insane, and then I'm just like, that's it.
Yeah.
It's over. Like I don't even care anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I'm at that point now with school shootings. I don't even care anymore. Do you wanna know why? Because I saw a fucking thing on like a morning TV show, and they were honest to God promoting Kevlar backpacks.
Yep.
Kevlar backpacks! They were like, back to school safety's coming up. Got these nice Kevlar backpacks coming in a great array of sizes, shapes, colors.
Like that.
They're complete, and there was like a fucking thing where like it showed like a teacher holding one in front of her, and there was like another teacher with a handgun, and he just goes, pfft. Like in a fucking school, it just goes bang, and then she's just like, I'm fine.
My notes are safe.
What the fuck? And then they have the gall and like the absolute fucking audacity to like show like, oh yeah, this is what their predicted sales figures are for the next like 5 years. And I'm like, what do you mean? They're like, oh, it's gonna be like a fucking $2 billion business by the time we're on with it. And I'm like, you already have a fucking NRA, which is already another whole fucking can of worms. Now you're gonna fucking make money off of selling backpacks that are bulletproof to children?
So fucked.
What? And
That's
at that
how
point,
the machine works. They just don't give a shit. They're soulless. They'll
at this point, I'm like,
suck your money
It's
for
so
anything.
fucked because and that's the thing too. Like there's no point. There's no rational discussion left to have because it's so fucking cartoon outrageous.
How long ago now was the Sandy Hook shooting? That was like
fuck.
6
That
or
was-
7 years ago.
That was like, that was the OG.
It was 6 or 7 years ago.
the OG
it was
shooting.
fucking
Yeah.
like 6-year-old children,
Mhm.
and then fucking nothing was done, and then you have like idiots like Alex Jones, that's
Yeah.
just like parading around ever since, like, oh, it was all faked, and the parents of those children. Not only has this happened and nothing's been done about it, but their parents of these children can't visit their children's graves. They've had to move
That's one
house
of
like
the-
10 times
that is one of
because
the
they are constantly
most fucked
harassed
things.
Yeah.
by lunatics because of this. And then you have Twitter's CEO, Jack, the fucking idiot loser, just saying, oh, Alex Jones, he's kind of controversial. He
Mike-
says stuff people don't necessarily agree with. He hasn't violated any rules, though. He's no threat to anyone. He should
I mean,
definitely be
realistically,
promoted.
in the rules of Twitter land, he really has. Seeing the shit that people get away with on Twitter.
Yeah, but have you seen some of the shit people don't get away with on Twitter?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
right.
because
So if
sometimes-
you're doing that, if you're doing this, it's completely fine. If you're a literal Nazi, it's pretty fine.
Yeah.
But if you go to like any checkmark account and just say, "Hey, this game doo doo," you get banned for a week.
This game did it.
It's insane.
You know what? What's the name of the kid who said that?
I don't know if I should say.
All right. Oh, I'll call him
Chucko.
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 All right. Chucko. I think Chucko's words will ring true for the rest of 2018. This world doo doo.
This world dude.
This world
Like-
doo doo.
Like
It,
literally. Oh.
I can see it in your eyes. You're ready to fucking go.
And this
You're
whole-
ready to throw hands.
Jack's whole thing, like, oh, we should just journalists' job to be rigorous and then fact check Alex Jones, as if that's done anything. Like,
Drac, you
Like,
got
you're not just gonna fact check those parents into being comfortable in their homes, right? Like,
this dude is a straight up coward. Like, he's got no fucking spine.
well, the thing is,
Even remotely.
Not only that, it's-
like because the thing
honestly,
is,
he's playing a good game, but he's totally into it. He follows Mike Cernovich, like. He is a right wing, like, and he'll say, all these guys, they'll be, I'm actually pretty left leaning, but then you push them on literally anything, and they just go
They go
completely
straight
ape
right
shit.
back.
They're just like,
Because they're
protect Alex Jones at all costs. He's
so-
free speech.
They're
free
just so
speech.
afraid of taking any of the heat that like everyone else has to deal with on their shitty platform, that they're just like, oh shit, I'm being harassed for not being left. Well, I'm actually pretty left-leaning, guys. Well, then ban Alex Jones. Oh, but you know,
Yeah, I'm
let me
actually.
guess pizza.
Sorry,
it's a
or
Vine
like
reference.
Boogie. I'm actually pretty left leaning. I love gay people. I just don't think they should be allowed to get married or have other
Like-
rights.
Like, you know, I don't want to like go out of my way to just force people to divide themselves into little groups, but at this point, like, you just gotta pick a team, and you just gotta commit to picking a team, because there's no more bitching around in the middle anymore.
Well, bitching around in the middle is
No, there's no more bitching around the middle. And you know what? In the back of my mind, I used to be like, you know what? I like to try to be kind of a century guy, but not in the boogie way where you just kind of stand in the middle and don't know what to do, but in the way where you stand in the middle and you listen for a bit, and then you're like, I picked this team this time. And then the next argument comes up and you listen for a bit and you're like, this time I picked these guys. It's like being a centrist, but like being decisive about it.
I agree and disagree, because I understand that times change, and things that are more, you know, appropriate today probably won't be 10, 20 years from now.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just how the times work.
Yeah.
That's just how culture works. That's fine. Like, you see now, like, like older people, and they're like, oh, it's the Chinaman, and you're like, no, Grandma, you can't say that, no.
I like the term fossilized bigot.
Yeah, and that's the thing, like, they don't,
Ancient fucks.
and that's the worst part, is that, like, they don't mean anything bad. That's just what
That's
it
like
was.
the guy in the line at the theater.
Exactly.
Well, yeah.
That's just the way it was.
An old person in their ways.
Absolutely.
Of course, they're
and
always
there's
gonna
nothing
have it.
wrong with that, as long as you, like, take the time to be like, listen, I get it. Can't go around doing that.
Well, I think
I
Doing
think
this
with
for
those
yourself.
guys, you gotta choose your battles. Like sometimes,
Absolutely.
especially if they don't have any authority in
Yes.
systems.
And that's what I'm
that kind of
the
thing.
platform.
And that's exactly what I'm getting at.
Because
As long
John,
as it's-
you always talk about how when people have a lot of money, they need to do something good with
Yes.
it. Well, there's this whole idea of social capital. If you have a lot of social capital, you gotta do something good with
Exactly.
it.
Like that dude
I
in the
still
line,
100%
he's a
agree.
trucker. He's fucked, okay? Like he's
fucked.
He's not getting any more progressive. And you know what? Who's he hurting? Like he's
No.
gonna have a bit of road rage and yell out a slur.
He clearly
Only
loves
his car's
loves his kids and third wife.
Absolutely.
Yeah. He didn't fuck Mario's mom.
No, he was on Mario's side.
He was on Mario's side.
He was on Mario's side the whole time. He was like, oh yeah, you have to fuck your mom. He's like, what? He woke up in the morning and his mother, he was there with his mother there. He's like, oh no, she gave me a drive home the night before. You fucking my mom. That's the way he said it, by the way. I'm not being racist.
You know,
That's exactly how he said it to me.
It's cool. It's fine. You know, well, I mean, it's
not fun.
in a perfect world, but there are a lot of
That's like saying it's okay. I said the Chinaman comment. My last name is Lee. I have no Asian heritage and all. It's fine. It's totally fine.
It's not called.
It's not, but it's fine.
But yeah.
Well, it's like a different thing.
Yeah.
Especially when you have like a young person claiming to be thoughtful. You have people with platforms and authority.
Yeah.
It's
See,
like-
that's the thing. Then it's like because we're an hour in, and this is a whole other battle.
No, we're still going. We're going through.
Oh my
We're
God.
on the tear.
We got at least a bit more.
Is this long cast?
Yeah, this is a long cast.
Yeah, at least push through this bit.
Fuck.
I'll use that new theme I came up with.
There you go. But so what I'm trying to say is, like, I get it. You know, the older generation, that's fine. Like, as long as you like make a somewhat attempt to like, you do know like that's not okay anymore, right? Like, just letting you know, you make your own decisions after that.
Mm-hmm.
But as long as you just give them the fair shot, the benefit of the doubt, you know, Okay.
Yeah. Like when you enter like
What you do with this information after this, it's up to you.
yeah, when you like go in to start like a discussion or a conflict, you know, you gotta like set some ground rules or like give everyone kind of like their fair shake. You can't just come out of the gate swinging.
Yeah.
Just batting people over.
Yeah. That's like me if I came out and was just like, man, I don't really like the Catholic Church, and then someone was just like, BOOM! And then like without any like, there's discussions to be had, and then there's debates to be had, and then there's just arguments where nothing gets happened. That's just nothing. But yeah, I think like in that regard, where you have a platform and you need to convey that sort of message, because that's what the internet pretty much has done now. Anyone can have a platform. Anyone's allowed to have a soapbox and scream their voices out to the ether. Except that's what the saying is. The saying is you're putting your voice and screaming out into the ether. Except that it's not an ether. People can see that.
No.
Somewhere down, it's like those fucking things where like you send a message out into space. You're like, no one's gonna fucking hear that, and then someone does. And you're like, man, what the fuck? Like an alien out with fucking Kleborp 6 is just like,
Why'd you go read that?
What the fuck? What the shit? You fucked Mario's mom? That's
yeah,
fucked
what
up.
the fuck's fucked up, man?
Like, I'm late to this, but you know I'll say it. You know, like, it's game over on not being political. Everyone has to be political now. Taylor Swift, pick a fucking side. Jack from Twitter, pick a fucking team.
No, Jack from Twitter just at least start being blatantly upfront
you know what?
about
Do
your
your
bias.
fucking
You are
jobs.
biased.
Like,
just admit
like
it.
Twitter, pick a team. Facebook algorithms, pick a team. Maybe you did already. Maybe it's the Russians. Maybe it's Team Russia. I don't know, but
Who gives a shit? Facebook is such a fucking graveyard wasteland of bullshit.
Just
I
bring back.
can't believe how much I fucking hate Facebook now. It's
Bring,
just so
just
trash.
bring back MySpace, dude.
Tom is the winner. in all
Tom
of
has
this.
to win this. You can put music on your profile when people visit it.
what really?
Yes. I won't go into fucking. I'm going to MySpace, dude.
I honestly would not be against like, you know, taking down the holy trinity of social media, like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. The Instagram a little less. No one get.
Yeah, I made that tweet on Instagram a while ago. I said Instagram's the only one that's just isn't rotten to its core, only because there's nothing on it really inspires critical thinking.
No substance.
And it's kind of hard
It's
to.
just nothing.
It doesn't have a great mechanic to argue with strangers.
Like you
either.
open the Facebook box and you're like, Jesus Christ, they rigged the election. Oh my god! And you open the Twitter box
CBC
and it's like,
articles on Facebook. Oh my god! Never read a CBC article on Facebook.
and you open the Twitter
box?
box and
That's
it just
Pandora.
comes out screaming at you.
That's Pandora's box. You don't open that one.
And then you go over
at it.
and then
you
you
look
go-
at it through the keyhole.
You go over to the
That's only way to look at
Instagram
it.
box and you're like, "Ugh," and you open it up and there's like nothing in there. Like, there's a couple Polaroids and that's it.
There's like Polaroids. Everyone's hotter than you for some reason.
Yeah.
There's a lot of memes, but the meme pages are private.
Everyone's hotter than you and also always on vacation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like,
What are your fucking jobs? I don't know.
and like I still go on like Tumblr, but like people are like Tumblr's fucking cancer, and I'm like I agree, but especially for one of those things because Tumblr or Twitter it's a lot fucking harder because with Tumblr it's you only get to see who you follow.
They don't do any of this bullshit.
They don't do any of that like
Recommendation.
oh I thought you would like this.
Yeah.
Tumblr's always been like classically internet garbage.
Yeah.
I think Tumblr gets a bad
Questionable.
rap for sure.
It does now.
Well, think
Now.
of it
Back
also-
in the day, absolutely. It
Back
was
in the day-
fucking 100% trash back in
Deserved
the
it?
day.
Okay, yeah.
100%
Well, 'cause
deserved it.
I think like because you know back in the day when Facebook and Twitter were shiny and new and you know like not tainted. Now they're tainted in ways Tumblr can only dream of.
Yeah.
I
So
like
imagine,
that.
Tumblr's classically fucked up. Like it's got questionable porn on it and
well, that's the thing, right? Like with Facebook
and a lot of
and-
emo kids
with
and you're
Facebook
kind of like,
and
ah,
Twitter.
gross.
With Facebook and Twitter, you're like, okay, at least you know there's a point where you're not gonna see something. But with Tumblr, again, I'll give you an example of my 2014 John Lee scrolling down through Tumblr. I see a couple memes about Metal Gear Solid because I was like, oh man, I really like Metal Gear Solid. I see a couple memes about Monster Hunter. I really like Monster Hunter. I see a girl getting railed in the ass by a 12-inch cock. well, that's weird. Hey, look, a video about kittens. Immediately after, and I'm like, whoa!
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
And the weirdest part is that, like, most blogs that aren't, like, a personal one, like, mine's a personal one, like, I'm just gonna, like and reblog things that I like.
Yeah, it's just yours.
Obviously, it's just the shit I like and I want to save for later or whatever. But then you follow blogs that are like, you know, this is a Metal Gear Solid blog. And then you're like,
Yeah.
okay, so you're only going to see things from this.
Yeah.
So you just need to make sure you're following blogs that are just about these things. So you don't get a fucking gif of a woman getting railed by a 12-inch dick. Sandwiched between a meme about Metal Gear Solid and dogs.
I feel like there's also definitely an aspect where Tumblr just gets lumped in by angry dudes who are just like, feminism, Tumblr.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't even have a
That's
great
honestly,
sense of where that comes from. I think someone just told them that Tumblr is where the feminists lurk.
You know where on Twitter very rarely you'll see like the actually please don't do this. I am this person. I do this for blah 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 whatever.
Oh,
but you only have 240 characters to get your point across.
Yeah.
Imagine that, but fucking rampant, and they have all the space in the world. That's what it is. And then I remember seeing one on Tumblr, for example, and it was like a fucking meme. It was like a baby, and he had like he had like a denim hat, a jet, if you will. And he had like a denim fucking. He had like a denim fucking like shirt on, and he had like dirt in his mouth, and it was like all these kids today with their iPhones. When I was a kid, I ate dirt. And that's all it said. And then right under it was just like, that baby looks racist as fuck. And then like there was like a huge fucking 3 paragraphs of like, you can't say that baby looks racist. Babies are blank slates. They're only what they are when you raise them in a home. I'm a lesbian mother of 2. Like, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like this 3 paragraph shit. And then at the very last fucking post, the very last fucking thing, all you see is, well, to be honest, the baby does look racist.
Maybe
You see, Tumblr gives them enough space that they can scream until they just turn it on themselves.
Yeah.
And they're just like, boy, I'm out of breath. You know what? Maybe this isn't worth it.
No, that wasn't the same person. That was like someone else, like at the very end, just being like, but you know what? It does look racist.
Yeah. Like you have a point, but also.
But also the baby looks racist. And that's when it's like peak. You're like, oh, thank God.
See, I'm not on there, so it seems kind of
Another,
like fun.
you know what? While I'm at it, I'll fucking keep adding to it. There's another thing I used to see on Tumblr a lot. Don't see it as much anymore now. Where people are like, here's my PayPal. I'm about to get kicked out of my house. I'm a fucking, you know, like I came out as gay. My parents hate me. Please send me money. And I'm like,
it's just like,
sucks. But
I mean, I've been seeing an increasing number of tweets about like Kickstarters and Indiegogos being American healthcare.
I mean that's
it is.
Again,
I think about 50% of GoFundMe's throughput has been for medical bills.
Yeah, I believe it. But yeah, so there was,
Which is great, and you know the world's fine, and we're all gonna live for eternity. So
Oh, you
So there was
see
another
today? The IEEE sent me an article. It was, is Amazon going to disrupt the health industry?
yeah, and you were just like, fuck.
I tweeted it with, please make it stop.
Yeah. So, see, the thing with those, like, please give me money, like, I remember seeing one, and, like, again, I have nothing against this, but it's just kind of weird seeing it, and you see it, because I'm the kind of person who's, like, if you tell me, like, hey, man, can I borrow $5? I'd be like, yeah, sure, why? And then you say, like, I just need it for this. I'll be like, okay. But if you keep compounding more and more and more and more onto it, like, I am less inclined to give you money.
Naturally, I guess.
You know what I mean? Like this one, I remember seeing one, and it was just like, like I'm going through transition surgery, and like I'm taking, you know, hormone pills, and I need money for that, and my dad hates me, and he kicked me out of the house, and like he doesn't even give me food to eat, and I'm like, what the fuck? And then like that's the post, and then you reblog it, and like you can write your own thing. So they reblogged what they had and wrote again onto it and was like, update, I don't have water. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, and I thought this was like, some of them you look at it and you're like, this has got to be a joke, right? And then you look at it and you click it and you're like, oh fuck, this is real. Like, what the fuck? Like, what are you getting on with? Where do you live?
At this point, it's like, I do respect the transition surgery, and that's important
Absolutely,
for you.
absolutely.
But food and water.
But when you're like, oh, my dad kicked me out. Again, this is me just like compounding information out. This isn't exactly what it said, but it's around that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, what the fuck? Like, what are you doing? And then, like, another one was just like, I had my boyfriend over and, like, he punched me in the face, he broke up with me, took the $20 that someone donated to me yesterday. And I'm like, what? Fuck, that was mine!
Jesus Christ.
That's a lot.
Yeah, I'm like, it's to the point where you're reading it and you're like, this can't be real. This can't be fucking
It's like
real.
watching a puppy fall downstairs.
Yeah, you're like, oh.
And it starts to catch itself and then it just keeps falling.
Yeah, you're like, oh, god damn it. But yeah, it's better. It's better now. It was a lot worse.
Remember, yeah, 2018 shaping up to be really fucking... Do you remember
2016 was the worst?
We thought 2016 was awful, and 2016 has the distinction of the year when a lot of good people died.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I can keep that one.
Yeah.
Then 2017 just sucked for its own reasons. Just really just awful year.
Yeah.
Just like personally and greater world.
Mm-hmm.
But in 2018 is just like, what the fuck is even happening anymore?
Yeah.
It's just like...
I'm kind of disassociated.
We're coming through the other end just like, how do we even
It's like the Earth,
understand?
it's honestly like the Earth has a headache. Like, and I mean that both in the sense that like it's exhausting. You can't even fully pay attention to what's happening while it's happening, and then you definitely forget it when it's over. Like,
I feel, yeah,
you know,
like,
and then people remind you of shit that happened this year, and you're like, oh God, really? Oh fuck.
yeah, like
oh God,
it's exactly like that. Like someone
Jesus.
looks at you and they're like, we're in like the latter half, latter third of 2018 now.
Yeah.
And like it's like someone came up to you and said like, so how's this year going so far? And you're just like, man, I don't even know what happened this year. Like kids were eating Tide Pods earlier. That seems like that feels like a lifetime away.
Oh yeah, that was this year.
That was this year.
That was this year.
That feels like a lifetime away.
Yeah.
This year opened with Logan Paul filming a dead body. Remember that? That feels like it was centuries ago.
Yeah, I know.
Now he's
Holy
in
fuck.
fights and shit. I don't know. But my point is, I started following this, straight-faced feminist Twitter account.
I think I saw that.
And seeing the amount of shit she deals with every day, I'm starting to get guilt about not doing enough good things.
Yeah, no, it's like, if you ever have some perception that people talking about how women deal with a lot of shit online, and if you ever doubt that for even a second, it does not take long to go just look it up, and it's like, oh.
It's prevalent.
Now, this is her game. Like,
Yeah.
she picks fights, air quotes, like Twitter fights.
Yeah.
Yes,
I have seen those. Yeah.
Let alone if you're just a woman on the internet getting harassed every single day of your life for everything about you.
Mm-hmm.
She's going out of her way to contest dudes. Like, insane props to this person.
Mm-hmm.
I would quit so early. Because the thing, it's not even like, it's a different fight every time. It's the same fight every time.
Like, it's exhausting enough just to read what's going on online and not having anyone adding you with, wanting you to die.
Like,
or
Imagine being the fucking target of it all.
I have the capital luxury of, I read Twitter for too long, and I turn it, and then I can turn it off. And I can just kind of sit around and be like, no one's harassing anybody around me right now.
Isn't this fucking great?
Nobody's... Pookie, get out of here. Nobody's harassing anybody right now.
Oh my god. This has been the longest episode ever. Now my voice is hurting.
It's been the longest and bleakest. It's been a real bummer episode.
And I didn't even get to talk about one thing I wanted to talk about. That's fine. We'll save it for later.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's time for us now to log off.
It's time for us to log off.
we
We're getting
become
angry at the
mad
internet
online.
again.
It has literally become dark.
Yeah.
While we've been doing this podcast.
The light was off in this room. It is now dark outside, and we are only lit up by the light of the laptop.
I literally, one more thing before we finish up
No,
is I
we
want
need
to
it.
search up how many times I've tweeted the words mad online this
You should
year.
make a hashtag.
From me, mad online.
You should just
How do you
make
look
a
that up?
hashtag,
You
Connor.
can just look up.
Oh, is it from me? It's from, maybe it's from, and then my username.
You should
Wait,
just
how do
make
you-
a
how do you
hashtag.
do
You know what? No, we're
You do
making.
from colon and then a username, and it'll filter by user.
We're gonna make that a hashtag.
It's
right
5.
now.
It's 5 times I've tweeted since January of this year that
Mad
I got mad
online.
online.
Oh my god, that's actually pretty good for you.
Yeah, it's not too bad, is it?
Considering the amount of times that you actually got mad online.
Yeah.
It's ramped up. It's once in January, once in May, twice in July, and then 4 days ago.
Oh yeah,
4 days
that's real.
ago.
Things are heating up quick.
We're making that a hashtag now. Mad online. Hashtag mad online.
It's definitely.
That's definitely already a hashtag.
But that's the whole point. I'm participating.
Yeah.
I get mad online. You get mad online too?
Not really. I kind of just peruse.
I just feel.
I've been doing like tweets lately where like I just kind of like I was telling you guys about this earlier where I just kind of like let my mind wander sometimes and then I just throw a tweet out there.
Yeah, those are good tweets.
Those are always good ones. I always
in
like
that
'cause
genre of tweet. I have so much respect for it to just be in a state of zen where nothing affects you and you can have idle thoughts.
yeah, like I was just like I mean I told you about the one I had a while ago where I was just like, man, like SoundCloud rappers are just like the NPCs of the world. And
Yeah.
I'm like, I mean, they really are, aren't they? And then I open up Twitter and I'm like, I'll fucking voice that out there. And then I just throw it out and I'm like, man, this feels cool. Like, is this how like drill does it? Like, can I write a book soon?
Man.
Well, now you are an hour closer to your weekend. Sorry for getting so heavy towards the end there.
Oh yeah. Have fun out there.
Have fun out there, kids. Don't drink and drive.
The rock.
Fuck, this monitor's really bright now that I'm turning towards it. Oh,
To quote Monkey Ball, everybody's doing their best to stay alive.